As a young kid, I always played Scrabble with my grandma. It helped me learn words, how to be a little bit more competitive, and little did I know at the time that it had a game mechanism involved. I just thought it was for fun, didn't really have any real meaning behind it, but later on I found out that it included the game mechanism of tile placement. Tile placement is all about placing tiles next to each other, whether it be blocking an opponent or building up your points to help you win, or to help with boost your strategy or whatever you may do in the game. Tile placement also has infinite possibilities because you can place the tile wherever the game allows you to. It's not just you can only place it in one specific spot. It allows for a wide variety of opportunities. One game that involves interactivity and tile placement is Scrabble, like I mentioned before. In Scrabble, pretty much all it is you have wooden tiles, you place them in a bag and shake it up, and you pull out 7 tiles and place them on a board. And the first player builds the word in the middle of the board, and it has to be 3 or more letters. And after that player goes, the next player goes, and they can build off of any letter of that word, and it just keeps going to all the players, and you just keep going around and around until your board ends up looking like this with many different words and different possibilities, and the main objective is to score as many points that you can win. There's infinite possibilities because there's not going to be the same board every time. So you're going to have different words spelled, different letters are going to be used each time. You're not going to grab out the same 7 letters every time. So that's where infinite possibilities come in. You're always going to play off of each other's words. You don't just have to play off of your words when you are creating words, but so that involves interactivity. Unlike Scrabble is the game Carcassonne, which came out a little bit later. It has all of these different tiles that have land and castles and rivers, and the main goal of this game is to build a landscape, and that's how you score points. There's other different versions, but the main objective in each version is to build a landscape with these tiles, and tile placement is a very big key in this because you place your tiles to either block your opponents from building a good landscape or to build up your landscape to help you score the most points to overall win the game. And the player activity is blocking and playing wherever you want to go off of each other's tiles, and there's infinite possibilities because no game is going to look just like this every time. There's going to be different tile placements and different variations of castles, land, everything. The next game that involves tile placement is Fits. Fits is just like Tetris, but it is on a board instead of your phone. And the main point of Fits is to place the tiles and try to score as many points to win. So the first player picks up a card from a deck, and on that card is a tile. The tile has there's many different orientations of tiles, and each player has to pick up that tile and put it on their board. But player choice comes in when you can pick the column that it goes in or the orientation of the tile and let it drop, but once you drop it you can't change it, unlike Tetris. So when you are playing this with your friends, there's not much interactivity except for the fact that each player has to pick up that tile, but the choice comes in where you can change it, the column and the orientation. So the first main game mechanism of tile placement was seen in Scrabble around 1948. Scrabble has just a few game mechanisms, but pretty much it's just tile placement with the whole goal of creating words to win with those tiles. So unlike Scrabble, like we said earlier, is Carcassonne, which came out in the 2000s and they're still coming out with new models today. And they have multiple game mechanisms that include area control, area management, and tile placement, and a few other smaller ones that aren't as big as those 3. And they also include multiple landscape tiles and that includes a wide variety. Instead of just having letters, it has castles, lands, water, all of the above, and they can go wherever you want. And you build the tiles. There's no specific board. The board is with the tiles that you make, so it's never going to look the same. So overall, tile placement is really just about playing tiles on each other's, but there's infinite possibilities and interactivity come into play when you play off of each other's tiles, and there's never going to be a set of placement each time. It's always going to be different possibilities coming with different pieces being laid. So that's tile placement.